Hello, and welcome to Story Time with Miss Linda. Today, I want to read you a story called Flo and Wendell Explore. The author is William Wegman. And before we start, I want to tell you a little bit about William Wegman. This is what he looks like, and you can see him with the dog. He loved dogs, and his very favorite kind of dog was the Weimaraner, and I hope I've said that right. Some of you maybe have a Weimaraner or you know of that kind of a dog. But this is the kind of dog that he loved, and he loved it so much that he took pictures of it. He dressed it up in clothes, clown costumes, and took pictures of them, put them into books, and wrote stories with his dog, which is what, if you can see real carefully, you can see that these are real dog faces, but just on human bodies. And his very favorite dog was Man Ray, that was his name. And then he had another dog called Fay Ray, and he used them in his stories. So think about that when I read you this story of Flo and Wendell Explore by William Wegman. Okay, Flo and Wendell Explore. Every year, let me get this moving around. Every year, Flo and her little brother Wendell go on vacation with their parents. This year, they went on a camping trip in their Uncle Mervin's RV. Flo had a lovely time, but Wendell, not so much. All they did was drive around and drive around and drive around. He didn't ever get a chance to use his souvenir hatchet. You see that? He has a toy hatchet. So Flo promised to take Wendell on a real camping trip. They would sleep in a real tent, and Wendell would get to do everything he wanted to do. What to bring, what to bring, what to bring. And here's the list they came up. And some of the things are fishing poles, extra socks, sleeping bags, and of course, his hatchet. Flo led the way. In no time, they found the perfect place to pitch their tent. It was more difficult than they imagined. All those flaps and poles and stakes. If you've ever tried to pitch a tent, it's not always very easy. What next? Fishing. I got one. They let all the fish go, all except for one small tuna from a can, which they ate for lunch. Nice, yummy tuna fish sandwich. Now where would they go, and how would they find their canoe? Oh, there it is, tucked under some pines. You see it down there on the path that they had to take? The canoe was heavy, but together they made light of it. Flo was an expert. She must have picked up her technique from one of those nature shows. Up ahead, rapids, hang on. Well, they might have needed a little bit more practice. Looks like they got pretty wet, didn't they? And just then, they saw something scary. What was it? A bear? Flo and Wendell were very still. So was the bear. Actually, it didn't move at all. It was just a rock. This time, Wendell took the lead. He knew a shortcut. See them going through his shortcut? It was a good thing that he brought his hatchet. He finally got to use his hatchet. Suddenly, everything looked familiar. It was their campsite, exactly how they left it. There was just one more thing to do. Toast marshmallows. Flo liked hers lightly browned, but Wendell liked his incinerated. Finally, Wendell was happy, and Flo was too. Have you ever gone camping in your backyard? Sometimes that is really a very fun camping trip. We don't always have to go into the forest or the woods. How do you like your marshmallows? I like mine like Flo, light and fluffy. Now I have a project for you to do. I think this might be kind of fun. If your mom or dad or grandma or anybody you know has magazines, like here's one of my magazines, ask them if they're through reading it. And if they are and will let you have it, go through the magazine and look for pictures. You might find a picture of an animal. Look for all kinds of animal pictures. Maybe a dog, maybe a cat, maybe bunnies. I found this cow. And then cut the pictures out, just their faces. Remember, just the faces, like in our storybook, it was only the faces that were really, see that? Just the faces. And then you draw your own bodies. I did that. Look what I did with a dog's face I found in a magazine. I turned him into a pirate. What if you like to surf? Do a surfing picture. What if you like to skateboard or play basketball? Take your animal and turn it into whatever kind of a character you want. You could write a whole story or just do one picture. Now, I found this silly picture of a gorilla. He's not silly, but I turned it into a silly picture. Can you see what I did? I put a baby bonnet on him. I could make a really funny story now about this gorilla and his baby bonnet. So maybe today you can ask somebody that has magazines if they're through and if you can have them and find pictures of different animals. Sometimes moms and dads have old calendars that have pictures of animals. Let's see if you can find some pictures and make your own story. Do your own pictures that tell your story. I hope you have fun doing that. Bye.